Okay. Kevin, a couple of quick lighthearted questions about the Oscars first. They're not engraved when you get them. What's the process of getting your Oscar statue engraved?
I'll tell you, and I'm glad it's this process because I was very fortunate a number of years ago to be given a Tony Award. And you know, you work your whole life for something like that, and you walk up on stage and they give it to you, and you know, you speak Swahili or whatever it is that comes out of your head at a moment like that. And then you walk backstage and they take it away from you. It's like your blanket, you know, when you're a kid. They take it away and they don't give it back. And they engrave it, took 2 months, and then they sent it to you, right? And it was terrible. Well, they have this done terrifically. They give you the Academy Award and it's yours. I mean, they don't take it away. You hang on to it. And then you go to the Academy some 3 weeks later and they've had the plate made. Oh. And, you know, you think it's like a process. So you go to a big room and they... Actually, it's a guy who's got him in his desk and with a drill, and he just kind of goes, there you go. So that's what we did. So it's now engraved.
Okay. All right, great story. Hey, you know, I've always been fascinated with audience etiquette. People talk a lot now during movies and during plays. I interviewed an actress. She was doing a play in Florida. In the middle of it, a woman walked to the front of the stage and said, "Speak up, we can't hear you." What kind of interesting interruptions have you had to endure?
Well, sometimes when you're playing matinees, those are sometimes the worst of it because a lot of our elderly citizens come, and we're very happy to have them there, but many of them have hearing aids. And it's either not explained to them that when they buy the headsets in order to be able to hear the dialogue through the microphones, if they don't turn off the hearing aid, it sounds like about 20 electronic gnats are just buzzing around the theater. And I remember one night in a performance of Lost in Yonkers, this buzzing was going on during my first entrance, and it was really like fighting through this electric curtain. And it was making me increasingly angry that no one next to whoever it was that this was going off was saying, "Hey, you know, because it's very loud. You cannot miss this thing." And I was finally at one moment it stopped, and I was so happy. I was so pleased that it had ended that I took a breath. And in that moment, I forgot what play I was in, who I was playing, what city I was in, and I completely went up. And this had happened to me once before, and I'd panicked, and I decided I wasn't going to panic. So I looked at the young actor on the bed who was playing my nephew, and as loud as I had said anything else on that stage, I said, "Help me!" And he looked up at me and said, "Why would I help you?" I said, "Never mind, I'll figure it out." So I eventually got back to the play. Those kind of things happen. People have opened lunch containers and started eating. M&Ms is a big problem in the front row. I will actually stare at them. I will actually stare at them until they realize that everything has somehow stopped. And I have been known to ask people to leave. You know, I remember the great story about Katharine Hepburn, who was doing Coco on Broadway, and someone took a flash photograph. And she stopped the musical in the middle of the performance, and she asked for the entire cast to come out onto the stage. "Everyone, come on, everyone, out here, now. Let's all hold hands." And she looked out at the audience, and she said, "Now, whoever has that camera, take all the pictures you'd like, and when you're done, we'll go on with the play." And that person, I think, probably shrank into their gym bag and rolled out of the theater. We have lost, I think, some degree of etiquette. I think that because of television and because of you know, video cassettes, people are generally watching things in their own homes and going to get a glass of milk and talking and answering the phone. And the great art of movies has been lost also by the fact that they've reduced the size of movie theaters. You know, you no longer sit in the dark in this huge screen with this light coming from the back of the auditorium where you become dominated by an event. Now the screens are sort of postage size, and it's more difficult to become dominated by it. In some ways, audiences now feel that they dominate so they can chat away.
A question about time to kill. Years ago, I was an extra in a movie, and I was so jazzed for it. Now, this is going to be great. I was pretty much brain dead after one day. The extras in this movie, what kind of things did they do in between takes, and you guys ever interacted on
Oh
it?
yeah, absolutely. Because we had about 250 of them every day during the courtroom scenes, and they were all from Canton and Mississippi, varying areas. They were great. You know, they sort of become a part of your family. They sort of become your audience in many ways, and we kidded with them a lot, and they kidded with us. And I think one of the more gratifying things was listening to them talk about how, in some cases, many of them had lived in their towns for a long time and had never actually spoken to a neighbor who may happen to be Afro-American. And in this context, suddenly they found a commonality. So we were very encouraged by that. They were very nice, very hardworking. They were there a lot of hours, and they were terrific. And I think they add to the movie.
Great. Great, thank you. Great stories.
Thanks.
Appreciate